Ghost Tales, Episode 11, The Undertow, by Violet Midnight, aka Dixit. Long ago in the land of Oz lived a man named Reginald Forrester. He was significant in business and in life. He was a good man who liked to help others. He was very wealthy and generous as well. But Reginald was too generous and failed to hold on to his fortune because he gave so much of it away to others, even to people who didn't really need it. Finally, Reginald was in his 70s. His black hair had turned mostly white, and his brown eyes had faded to a lighter shade of brown. His dark skin seemed gray instead of dark brown from years of malnutrition. Reginald was too proud of a man to ask for help outside of a few people that he had helped in the past. They were too greedy to help Reginald with money. They only would offer him a bag of apples and nothing else when he came calling. Eventually, due to old age, poverty, malnourishment, ill health, and sadness, Reginald passed away. But he didn't go to heaven or hell. His anger at the people he helped kept him out of heaven, and his good deeds kept him out of hell. So Reginald became a ghost, an angry ghost. He was angry at himself and angry at those that he had helped through the years. Why didn't I think? Why didn't I look at how much money that I had and how much I might need if I had lived a long and happy life? Reginald lamented as he floated around his mansion that was now up for sale. Why did I let so many people take advantage of me? Why didn't I let myself see that they had their own homes and nice cars and their own families and plenty of food and belongings? Some of them even had more than me, yet there they came, constantly looking for free money for a bill that they couldn't pay because they didn't manage their money or budget correctly. And some of them even lied to me to get money from me. They said they needed it for one thing, but they used it instead to buy new cars or boats or yachts or build swimming pools. Al Dixit even took money from me to build on a new addition to his house, I later found out. Reginald went to his study and sat in his office chair as best as he could to think. I'm going to haunt everyone who ever harmed me in any way. I'm going to haunt the people who took advantage of me and made me poor while they made themselves rich. Reginald tried to pound his fist on his desk, but his fist went right through the wood. After a few weeks of practicing how to maneuver things and make ghostly sounds, as well as how to walk through walls and doors, Reginald set out on his haunt. He started with the worst offender first, which was Alan Dixit. Reginald scared the living daylights out of Alan and his family for weeks, and then he went on to the next person at the top of the list and tormented them in their home. Reginald was miserable. He thought that revenge would make him feel better, but it didn't. How will I ever get to heaven doing these things? He asked himself. One day, Reginald sat near the fountain in the backyard of his former home and looked up at the sky. Why didn't you help me? He asked God. Why didn't you warn me? I did, said God. Every time that you gave your money away without checking if someone really needed it. Every time you gave money to get love and admiration from others, I tugged your heart. And every time that you looked at your bank account balance, I screamed at you. Reginald started crying heavily. Ghostly tears ran down his cheeks and fell into the fountain. Please help me, he said to God. The next thing that Reginald knew, he was in heaven and paradise, clean, remade, loved, comforted, and happy. Thank you so much for saving me, Reginald said to God. God smiled at Reginald and gave him a great big hug and said, You're welcome.